Imagine being a woman that got saved and then you get desperate for God, trying to get answers, and then you end up in the devil's camp. Story time. It was the year 2015. I had just found God freshly, right? I was eager, looking for a relationship with God, answers, new revelation, connections. I was looking for all of it. As long as it had to do with God, if you were a pastor, I'm going with what you said. If you could prophesy, you were my favorite, okay? So I started going from place to place, looking for Jesus, right? So one day, one of my friends invited me on a prayer line. When he invited me on the prayer line, I initially didn't want to go because I liked, um, in person fellowship. And he was like, "No, just come. This man is like my father, my mentor. He prophesies." I'm like, "Oh, prophecy, let's go!" So that got my attention, and then I went on the prayer line with him. The moment I got there, this man started prophesying. He told me what I was, who I was. I know who I was. I was a woman of God, yes. A prophetess, an evangelist, all of that, yes. I knew exactly that, but he was telling me something I already knew. But my question was, how did he know all this if God didn't tell him, right? I had to learn that just because somebody's able to prophesy does not mean that the source is from God. Yes, right? So let's continue. So when I got on the prayer line, out of everybody, he was very, very kind to me. And that's why you got to be careful when people just see you and they're nice to you all of a sudden. It's not always because they like you, right? It could be the one something from you. Now, being the woman of God that I was, even though I was a baby Christian, but I had an anointing that I did not even know the extent of it. But for some reason, he was able to pick it up in the spirit realm because he told me, "You're one of the finest evangelists of our time. You're this and that." He prophesied everything that I've already heard before. But, he kept just buttering me up. So he got my number after the prayer line because we had the group chat on WhatsApp. His name is Nathaniel Kumedzro, Nathiel Kumedzro. Yeah, his Facebook name is Nathaniel. His Facebook name is Nathaniel Kwaku, right? I think it's Kwaku, and he usually goes by Spirit Man Kwaku. And when somebody named themselves Spirit Man, it does not mean that they're just spiritual. I'm gonna elaborate on it. So long story short, he started being very nice to me. As he started to be very nice to me, I was like, "Wow, this pastor really likes me. I must have found favor with the Lord. Oh my God." So he would call me every day. We would talk, and he would prophesy and pray for me, things of that nature. And I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's such a great pastor." Fast forward, he would tell me something like, "I want to come to Iowa to open the church, but I don't know." I'm like, "Oh, I'm an evangelist. I'm good at winning souls and teaching people about God. So when you definitely come to open the church, I will fill it up because I'm very good at pulling people when it comes to evangelism, telling them about Jesus. And that was my gift. I could win souls. Okay. I even won soul winner award of the year, 3 years in a row in the old church I was attending. So, I could do it by the grace of God. So I told him that. So just come to Iowa. I will definitely help you. So, okay, I'm going to come visit first. I'm like, okay. So him and I are having these conversations, and then, he started prophesying about my underclothes, what underwear I had on. I'm like, "Oh my God, did you see that?" And we started getting very close. Mind you, the man that took me on the line, which is his spiritual son or a mentee, liked me. Okay. And that kid, his name is Zach, told him that he wanted to marry me. So the false prophet or the witch was aware that his spiritual son wanted to marry me. So I don't know what happened. My attention left the boy that took me on the line, and I started emphasizing more on the pastor. Long story short, before I met that pastor, a week before I got on that prayer line, another pastor had prophesied to me saying that I will meet my husband before the year comes to an end. That was the prophecy. So I was very excited. So a week later, I got on the prayer line, right? After getting on the prayer line, now I'm talking to this pastor every day. He's telling me, like, maybe this could be my husband because I was told that I will meet my husband by the end of the year. And look, this pastor keeps talking to me. Maybe this boy's position was to introduce me to my supposedly husband. I was excited about that. Long story short, we're on the line, and then he's telling me he wants to come visit me. So he's scheduled to come to. So before he came, he gave me some instructions. He said, "Do not let anyone enter your house for at least 7 days." I was gatekeeping my house. My friends, every time they call me, "Grace, can we come?" I'm like, nope, nobody can enter my house. I'm not accepting any visitor, okay? I'm thinking the man of God is coming. The place has to be consecrated. I did not know that I was dealing with a voodoo priest disguised as a false prophet. So I did not let anybody enter my house for 7 days. So the night before he came, I had a dream. In this dream, he came and he laid his hands on me, and I felt just numb in the dream. And then when I woke up, I'm like, oh, he's definitely gonna come. God is telling me he's coming. I didn't know that he came to conquer me in the spirit first before he could come physically. See, you gotta have spiritual understanding. So the next day, this man get on his way. He drove about 14 to 16 hours from Ohio. He had a Volkswagen. He drove that car. Is it VW? Yeah, he drove that car all the way to Iowa to my apartment complex. When he drove, I was so happy to see him. He came in. Oh my God. After this man came in, he unpacked his bag. I was like, oh my God, a man of God came to see me. And he was fine, okay? Listen, he was handsome somewhat. Or maybe I thought he was handsome because he already came to overcoming the spirit realm. So it was just a matter of time. So when this man came to my house, we got down straight to having sex. Okay, remember, I was a believer, but I was not a strong believer. Okay? And then before the sex, he was acting like, "Oh my God, I don't want to do this. You're so convincing. You're tempting the pastor." I'm just like, "No. You say you liked me. You want us to be together." So, I'm thinking like, I don't know. I just got really, really like sexually aroused. I wanted to be with him at that time. All of a sudden, we got intimate. That whole week, he was in my house. For 3 days he was in my house because he said don't let nobody in for 7 days, and then he stayed for 3 days, so 10 days. I did not know that this man was doing a ritual. So after we slept together the next morning, he told me, he said, "I need you to go to the store to give me some cereal." I'm like, "What brand?" He's like, "Raisin brand." I'm like, "Okay." So I run to the store. When I ran to the store to